Hi, this is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net, and today I'm going to show you how to use a capo on the guitar. Now, dare I say, unlike the uneducated view of a few people out there, using a capo is not cheating. Far from it. It is a stylistic tool that will enhance your creativity on the guitar. In this lesson, you're first going to learn why you would want to use a capo on guitar. There are many reasons. Then I'll show you some super simple strategies that get rid of any confusion that can come with using a capo on guitar. You'll know exactly where to put it for any given musical context or situation you might find yourself in. Plus, I'll demonstrate and explain the difference between what I call the perceived key with the capo and the actual key you're hearing. And we'll have examples to support this throughout the video. So let's get to it. So first, why use a capo on guitar? So there are several reasons why you might do so. Initially, you might use a capo when you first start learning guitar to sort of use it as a crutch for bar chords. So this is not a good long-term strategy. We do not want to use the capo to avoid playing bar chords. And this is where people sort of get mixed up sometimes and think it's cheating because you're just avoiding playing bar chords. No, that's not true at all. But if you're beginning guitar, of course you might have a song with bar chords and you'll be able to convert it to open chords and play the song in the same key without having to play those bar chords. And I've taught that way with, beginner students many times. However, we always get into bar chords at the right time when they are ready. However, talking of bar chords, we can have chord progressions. For example, let's say we've got something B flat, F to E flat, right? B flat's not going to be a key that's very open chord friendly. There's not many open chords in the key of B flat. We can capo to maintain the key, keep the key of B flat. But for example, I might capo at the 3rd fret and I can get the same chords with G, D and C. Okay, we'll get into the details of that very shortly, but that's just an example. Instead of playing here with bar chords, I can use the open chords, which allow me to play the things that you can do on open chords that you're not going to get on bar chords. Okay, so we do that because it's a creative choice, not one where we're cheating. Another particular situation you might use one. You've got 2 guitar players. One's playing in the key of D with open chords down here, maybe D, A to G, something like that, right? Okay, so you could have one guitarist playing in the open position there, and then you might have another capoed, let's say at the 2nd fret, to play the same chords, the same key, but different chord shapes because they're capoed. And the contrast between the non-capoed guitar and the capoed guitar is a really nice effect. So that's another reason why you might use a capo. Yet another reason could be just going to get particular chord shapes. So I could have a song that's in the key of A, E, D, just using 1-4-5 chords here for simplicity, right? So A, E, D. Now they're open chords. I can do open chord stuff on those shapes, no problem. However, maybe I want to be in the key of A, but use a different set of chord shapes to be in that key. So I could, for example, capo at the 2nd fret and use G major chord shapes and be in the key that I am in here, A, as you can hear. Okay, so now G, C and D give me different sort of possibilities. All the open chords have a unique sort of characteristics about them as far as embellishments and all this sort of stuff. And we won't get into that right here. I have videos on that in fact, I'll link to one right now in the top right corner of this video where you can go and look at things to do with embellishments on chords and all that sort of stuff. Now, there's one kind of obvious use of the capo that I just totally missed there that I'm just going to include here, and that is just to change key without changing chords. And this can be really good when you're working with a singer, for example. So let's say you're playing in the key of C, whatever sort of song you're playing across a 1-4-5, maybe there's an A minor chord in there, whatever. And let's say you're with someone and they're singing and it's a little low. Instead of changing all the chords and perhaps getting some shapes that don't suit the particular situation you're playing in, you could just simply capo. You might capo at the second fret and play the same thing, and that might be in a better key for the singer. If that's a little high, maybe you capo the first fret. You're changing key every time you move the capo, but you're not changing the chords. So that's a really obvious way to use a capo. How do we know though where to put the capo or what key we're actually in? When I capo, let's say the third fret, and I'm using the chords of C, I'm in C major, well, that's the perceived key, we'll get to that. But how do we know what key we're actually in? So the first thing you need to know is just some very basic music theory. Don't go running, it's very, very simple, you might already know it. You just need to know the musical alphabet, which has 12 tones. You've got 7 natural, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you've got the accidentals in between, the sharps and the flats. So you can see there on the screen, there is your musical alphabet. For the guitar, one shift from one note to the very next note, the consecutive notes in the alphabet, equals 1 fret on the guitar. You probably know this, right? So the low E string is E, obviously. Then we've got F, the very next note in the alphabet. I went up 1 fret, we go up 1 note in the alphabet. Then we get to the F sharp or the G flat, then the G. Then the G sharp or the A flat, they are the same note essentially. Then the A, etc. Right? So know the musical alphabet and know that one shift up in the alphabet equals 1 fret on the guitar. What if I just capo at the third fret and I play like in the key of C? Okay, so the perceived key here is C. It's what I'm seeing, right? So I'm sort of perceiving, if you like. It's the key of C because I'm using the shapes of C major. However, what we're hearing is not the key of C. So if you're playing with another instrumentalist, another guitarist who isn't capoed, or you're playing with a pianist or horns or whatever, they're not hearing the key of C. They're hearing the actual key. How do we know what the actual key is? You've got to see what the perceived key is, which is C, and then add the amount of frets you've capoed. So I've capoed 3 frets here. So you look at your musical alphabet, you've got C and you move up 3. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, or what we'd probably more often refer to as E flat. We're actually hearing the key of E flat here. So you just take the perceived chords, or the root chord, the C, and you add the amount of frets, C plus 3 frets. So you go up 3 in the alphabet and you get to E flat. Let's do another one. Let's really reinforce this. So let's say, well, let's just stay there, but let's go to the perceived key of G. Okay, so we've got the chords of G major, the root chord being G. Okay, so we're seeing the key of G here, and we would refer to it as G major capoed at the 3rd fret. But if someone's singing, or there's, another guitar without the capo, what's the actual key we're hearing? Well, it's still the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3. Now we're on G, so we go to G in the musical alphabet and we add 3. G, A flat, B, B flat. The actual key is B flat, and you can hear, like, there's the actual B flat chord, and here we are capoed at the 3rd fret, that G chord, and away we can go playing our song. Let's do another one. Let's just say we're at the 1st fret and we play C. Okay, chords of C at the 1st fret. Perceived key again is C major. That's what we're seeing, but what we're hearing is not C major. What is it? We've capoed at the 1st fret, so C plus 1. C, D flat. We're in the key of D flat or C sharp here. Okay, that's the actual key. Perceived key again is C. Let's do one more here just to really drive this point home. So let's say we're at the 5th fret, and let's say, what do we want to play? Let's play D major. So the perceived key is D major. Got the 1, 4, 5 in D major. That's what we're seeing. D major capoed 5th fret. What's the actual key we're hearing? Okay, so we've got D plus 5 in the key of D here. D, so we've got D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. D plus 5 half steps, or 5 up from D in the musical alphabet, gives us G. So the actual key we're hearing here is G major. What we're seeing are the shapes of D. So we would think in D here, and we would perhaps describe this as being capoed, in the key of D major capoed 5th fret, or in the key of G major capoed 3rd fret, etc. But the actual key we can work out by just simply counting the frets that we've capoed at and add in that from the note in the musical alphabet, right? So that's how you can work out what key you're in anytime you capo wherever on the guitar using a particular set of chords. And that's the difference between perceived key and actual key when using a capo. So what about when we've got an existing chord progression that we want to capo and get open chords for, let's say? How do we know what the options are? How do we work those out? So here's another way to think about it. Let's say we've got a chord progression that is B flat, E flat, and F. Okay, some combination of 1, 4, 5 chords in the key of B flat. Again, as I said earlier, not a very open chord friendly key. So where can we capo? There's going to be options here to do that. Well, there's this approach we can use where we think of the capo goes up, the chord goes down. So if we capo at the first fret, capo's gone up 1 fret, so the key, or let's just deal with the 1 chord, B flat goes down 1. So what's 1 back from B flat in the musical alphabet? It's A. So if I capo at the first fret, I can use the chords of A major to get my actual key of B flat. Okay, you can hear that. Right, and capoed here. Right, so again, capo goes up, chord goes down. So capo goes up 1 fret, B flat now becomes A. If we went up another fret, capo's gone up 2 frets now, so chord goes down 1 more, G flat. Not a good key to play open chords in, so not a good position to capo for this particular situation. But if we go 1 more fret, now we've gone, capo's gone up 3 frets. So think of B flat being the original key, we move down 3. So B flat, to A, to G flat, that's down 2, and then 1 more, G. And what do you know? We've got G major chords that are going to give us our key of B flat. So capo goes up, chord goes down. Let's just go a little bit further here to see some other options. So far we've come across 2 in this approach. We've come across that we can play, okay, A major, capo first fret gives us B flat. Capo third fret, G major chords gives us B flat. So if we went up 1 more, now the capo's gone up 4, so we're at G. Right, B flat minus 3 notes in the alphabet got us down to G. Here we would be at G flat now. Not a good friendly key to capo in there. So we know the 4th fret is not an option to capo to play our B flat chord progression if we're wanting open chords, of course. So if we go another one, now we've gone to F. Not really a great key. I mean, we can play sort of the C there, 5 chord, but we're still going to get mostly bar chords, so kind of defeats the purpose. You could do it, but it's not going to be the best position for open chords. If we go 1 more, we've gone now, the capo's gone up 1 more, we're at F, capo goes up. Remember, every time you go up 1 fret, the chord goes down. So we're at F, we've moved it up, chord goes down to E. E's not so bad. We've got E and we've got A. You might need to bar the B. You could use a B7 open chord depending on what it is you're playing, but that's not such a bad option. Typically for B flat, it's going to be the 1st or 3rd fret, but there are other options. And you could go a little higher again and get into sort of mandolin territory if you want. Let's do one more example here just so we can really ride this point home. Just remember, capo goes up, chord goes down, 1 fret at a time. So let's say we've got a chord progression that's in E flat, also that was B flat, also a chord progression that's not really, open chord friendly at all, okay? So let's think about it, E flat. So if we capo first fret, we've gone up 1 fret, E flat, moved back 1. What do we get? We get D. D's not bad, D's good, because we've got the open chords in D major. So we could capo the first fret and play D major, the perceived key. Remember the key we're seeing, not the actual key we're hearing. We're hearing E flat, but we're playing in D. Okay, so we're still hearing that, but now with open chords and we can do all sorts of cool things. Okay, if we go up 1 more fret, so remember, capo up 1, chord down 1, we're at D, now we're at D flat. Not a good key to play in for open chords. So not an option really for this particular situation. But if we go 1 more, now we're capoed at the 3rd fret, capo's gone up 3, we're originally on E flat, moved down 3 from E flat. In the alphabet, what do you get? You're on C. C's not a bad key. I mean, you've got a bar chord there, but you've got 2 open chords. And you got also A minor, E minor. There are more than just the 1, 4, 5 chords, but we're just keeping it nice and simple here. But C is a good open chord key. It's an open chord friendly key. If we went up one more, it would be B. Not really a good open chord key. If we went up another one, B flat. So capo's going up 5 now. We're going down from E flat to B flat. Not great, but if we went one more, capo's gone up one more, B flat down to A. Now we've got the chords of A to play in our key of E flat. So perceived key is A, and the actual key we're hearing is E flat. So that's really all there is to a capo. You've got the reasons I stated in the beginning as to why you want to do this, and I'll link to another video in the top right corner where I go into some more details or more of the creative stuff with the capo and some examples of actually using it and all that. Okay, if you like this video, you'll love this ebook complete with video examples called 10 melodic fingerpicking patterns you can learn in 10 minutes or less. Do you struggle to make the fingerpicking patterns you learn on guitar sound like music? Perhaps it's because you believe in one or more of these fingerpicking pattern myths. 1. You need to know a lot of patterns to have your fingerpicking sound musical. 2. Only advanced fingerpicking patterns sound musical. Easy patterns are too basic to sound any good. Or 3. There is a magic pattern out there somewhere that once found will finally have your fingerpicking sound the way you want it to. None of these myths are true. This is because fingerpicking patterns alone are not musical. They're technical. It's what you do with the patterns that will determine how musical they sound. In this ebook, you learn how to make the most boring fingerpicking patterns sound amazing instantly. Plus, the simple trick to make advanced fingerpicking patterns easier to play, and the thumb and one finger trick that's so simple and will have your fingerpicking sounding pro in no time. Click the link in the description below this video and download your free ebook complete with video examples, 10 melodic fingerpicking patterns you can learn in 10 minutes or less. You'll have it in your inbox within minutes. Let me know in the comments what acoustic guitar topics you'd like to see in future videos. I love to hear from you. A lot of the topics that I do cover come from suggestions from you. So don't be shy. Drop us a comment below this video and I'll be sure to get to it and reply. If you like this video, then hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so YouTube can tell you when I've released a new video, which I do every single week. Thank you so much for being here. This is Simon Candy from acousticguitarlessonsonline.net. I really, really do appreciate the time you take to check out my videos, and I very much look forward to seeing you in the next one.